All right, welcome back, folks. I'm Stephen James.
And I'm Hayden Neely.
And together we are the Cynic Insomniacs. So, unless you've been hiding under a rock, you pretty much know what time it has been. It has been E3 season.
Yep, we just had E3 pass, although by the time we get this episode up, it'll be maybe about a week old, but who knows?
Yeah. Either way, E3 has occurred there, and for those of you that have been listening to us for a little bit, we have done a podcast-only version. We did some pre-E3 stuff. So if you are interested in that at all, you can check it out at a link that will be somewhere when this is actually put into video.
Yeah, once we figure out how annotations work.
Yep, that'll do the thing. But anyway, that aside, now that E3 is wrapped up, we have some other thoughts on things. So, without further ado, let's kind of get started. First up on the list here,
we got Sony's Conference, which we got a couple of games that were interesting. We're going to spend just a few minutes talking about each one. We're going to make this pretty quick here.
All right.
So let's start with first one we're talking about. The Last Guardian finally fucking showed up.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit. I like how it was the thing they opened with.
Well, it makes sense.
This game has been going on forever. It's been in complete development hell.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's like, okay, guess what, guys? It's actually happening now. You get to play as, little boy and big griffin companion, and hijinks ensue. It's actually happening. Great. But we all know how this is going to end. Like, Penny Arcade did a comic on this all way back about, it's like, okay, guys, we know how this game is going to end. Either the boy dies or the big griffin dog dies. That's just how this is going to go. This is Team Ico we're talking about here.
Yes, the Iron Giant form of storytelling.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's going to be just as sad. So let's move on here. The Final Fantasies. I already did a reaction video for this, and by the way, to our viewers, thank you for all those views. I did not expect that.
Very much. That blew up out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. I guess that was pretty popular, just reactions and stuff. And to those of you who thought I was full of shit, I'm sorry, but I could be more full of shit.
Give it time.
Give it time. But I'm really excited for that, except for World of Final Fantasy, which I did not get a good first impression of because that cutesy fucking narrator, just that, you could be adorable. Look at he's adorable. The usage of the word adorable just was like, ugh!
Well, that's how it goes. But yeah, no, a lot of diehards were excited about Final Fantasy VII because apparently that was, the game that most people liked before things started going a little bit sideways, shall we say. Yeah,
this is... People have been wanting a Final Fantasy VII remake since 7 came out, essentially. Like, ever since the PS2 was a thing, like, ooh, let's have Final Fantasy VII remade. And I was like, okay. But, the thing with Final Fantasy VII Remake, more information is coming out. It's not going to be an exact remake. It's going to be, more of a reimagining. There's going to be some differences in the story, and some people aren't gelling with that. I, for one, am gelling with that. I look forward to seeing... I wouldn't want to play the same game twice,
Fair enough.
Like, as long as we don't have Nomura saying in an interview, we hope fans are pleasantly surprised by the addition of the new White Barret. That would be a situation where it's like, okay, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Who knows?
But nothing like that so far. They're still going to have the cross-dressing scene, which is going to be hilarious. So have high hopes. Let's talk about Zero Horizon.
Okay, Zero Horizon. Now, that was one of the PS4 exclusive games, and definitely an original game. Not like anything we've seen before, but whether that's a good or bad thing, I'm not really sure at this point.
That was mecha giraffes that were kind of
it was some kind of post-apocalyptic thing, like humanity as we know it has just gone to shit, and now we're in like full-on hunter-gatherer tribe mode, and we just see this red-headed woman that is shooting bows and arrows at, what I can only describe are herds of mecha giraffes.
Yeah. Looks pretty awesome, I'll admit. That looks pretty fun.
Yeah,
kind of like, it's like Tomb Raider-ish and kind of like the gameplay style. I don't know, maybe I might be thinking of something else.
Who knows? Now, whether you keep the bow and arrow, if that's going to be your only weapon, whether things change, we don't know, because this is pretty much just fresh off the presses. So,
but it does look promising.
It does look promising, and definitely a breath of fresh air and a lot of sequels that we did see this time.
Speaking of sequels, brief mention for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I might be the only one who laughed my ass off when it said, it's like, by the way, Activision's part of Sony now, so it's coming to PS4 first. It's like, oh, that's funny. But from the trailer, it actually looks like a lot of fun. I did not put a lot of stock in Call of Duty games, but I'll admit, that trailer looked fun as hell, just because of all the stuff you can do.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
And then maybe one final mention for... I just want to mention Dark Souls 3, just because I'm really excited. And apparently you can, like, sacrifice people. That'd be funny. And it's faster, more fluid, and I hope it takes a lot of cues from Bloodborne, which was more fast-paced, more action. Because, I mean, for Dark Souls 1 and 2, I could only take so much encounter boss, circle around, dodge attack, whack ass for a bit, and then repeat the process over and over again. I'm really hoping for some new ingenuity here.
Well, only time will tell, but I'm sure we'll get some more of that. And speaking of which, let's move over to our next topic.
Yeah, we have a bell now.
Yeah, we have a bell now. And that sound means we're heading on to our next topic, which is the Xbox.
Yes, we're moving on to Microsoft and the Xbox. So let's talk a little bit about what in the first episode we talked about. Oh, there's probably going to be another Gears of War game. And lo and behold, there is another Gears of War on the horizon.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it, folks.
Yeah, you heard it, folks. We called it more Gears of War. Although this time, and correct me if I'm wrong, did Gears of War become Resident Evil when I wasn't looking?
I don't know. I was kind of just like, whoa, that's looks a little bit like different from what I remember what could possibly be.
Now, don't get me wrong. The horror elements do look kind of interesting, and if, they actually keep kind of some of the, moving in dark shadows kind of thing, it might actually be an interesting type of game. But yeah, that was a bit of a switch.
Yeah, I mean, if you consider Resident Evil 4 was the game that kind of switched gears for Resident Evil, maybe Gears of War 4 will kind of switch gears for the series and, take it in a new direction. Could be interesting.
It could be.
4 is the magic number, apparently. But we've passed 4, and we're moving on to Halo 5.
Oh, God, Halo. Okay, Halo. So, here's the thing. First of all, we saw your multiplayer, which is great. Always looks great. Your multiplayer is never in question here. I don't know what the story of your game is. Apparently, I never will know. You are keeping that just like a hardcore secret. We'll be able to find out who killed John F. Kennedy before we can figure out what the hell your plotline is.
Yeah, I gotta do some major digging for the Halo plotline. I mean, dude, there's like novels, there's the movies, little short films, books, the games, and yeah, there's a ton of stuff in there.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Stuff I've never really had the patience to find out. I love playing the multiplayer. I will play the multiplayer. Oh wait, I don't have an Xbox One. Okay, so I guess I'll be playing it on your Xbox One.
Yeah, I guess you'll be playing it on mine.
I'm PS4, Steven is Xbox One.
Yeah, so. Definitely. So yeah, I guess you'll be playing it on mine.
I guess we're playing it on yours. Let's move on to Dishonored 2.
Yes.
This was highly anticipated from us.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely from Steven.
Yeah. Let me just be perfectly clear here. This may be an unpopular opinion. I don't care. Dishonored beats Assassin's Creed every day of the Shark Week. Are you kidding me? And this one looks equally awesome. We got still that steampunk setting there, now moving kind of slightly more advanced. We've got weird kind of robot mechano guards. You have two potential players. You have one, the same assassin from the first one, Corvo, or you can play what was formerly the little girl in the first game and is now grown up and clearly kicking all sorts of ass just the same. Mm-hmm. And the interesting part is apparently, depending on which one you play, it's a different power set. Each one has a different type of power set. In the trailer, we saw the Elizabeth, I believe her name is, saw her power set, which looks really interesting. You can like turn into a shadow and creep up on people.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, that is interesting, but I'm definitely excited for that just because, as I've said before in some of our other reviews, Dishonored is one of the few full stealth game mechanics out there, and I love it to death, so can't wait for that.
Yeah, that looks pretty awesome. And let's talk a little bit also about Mass Effect Andromeda.
Ah, yes.
Steven and I are both big Mass Effect fans. Steven has played through... was it you who was doing the all scenarios playthroughs?
I did all scenarios playthrough. I played every potential combination of Renegade and Paragon out there. Mainly because I love the series, also because for a while I had a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah, and Mass Effect Andromeda, The trailer kind of weirded me out with the song in the beginning. I was like, what is this? With oh, I recognize that armor.
Yeah, it was different. And yeah, it was Johnny Cash song, apparently.
Yeah, so exploring a new galaxy. Maybe we have some actually good Mako physics.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Macau.
Something.
But I really want to just like surf over planets like in the original Mass Effect. I want to take the car out and just fucking roll over planets and explore that way. I think that would be a lot of fun. Screw the freaking probe system from 2 and all that. That was awful.
Yeah, the riding around looks interesting. Also looks like they have some active weather features like we saw in the first game where, you know, if you get out in a planet that's hostile, you're going to start losing health. That's interesting.
Yeah. But so it turns out if you get out on a frozen planet, you adjust your suit, you're probably going to die pretty quickly.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
Yeah, do love that and love that it's definitely going to be a separate game. Same galaxy, which is always good.
And let's talk a little bit about Fallout 4. We mentioned a little bit in our first episode about the trailer they showed beforehand.
Yep.
But it's looking like it's going to be pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, this is a huge world.
Yeah, and there's going to be tons of stuff to do. They say it's like, oh, you won't possibly do everything.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, I'm sure some people will find ways to do absolutely everything. Unless it's sort of like that ambient quest system that Skyrim had. Which, that doesn't really count because I can only look for... Well, this is Oblivion more like, but it's my favorite example to use. I can only look for jumbo potatoes so many times. It's like, quit losing your goddamn jumbo potatoes. Or quit losing your... Quit getting attacked by bandits all the time.
That's how it happens. But yeah, with Fallout 4, I mean, now that we've actually seen some gameplay, clearly those that are worried about graphics were wrong, because that's some beautiful looking scenery.
It does look good. I'm not sure what people are like freaking out. People always freak out about graphics. I'm really not sure why. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks great. And one thing that I definitely liked, and I may be in the minority here, but both of us playing a lot of RPGs, the fact that I like is in the character creation in this one, you select an area of the face and you can actually sculpt it to what you're looking at, because we don't have those fucking slider bugs.
Yes, the sliders often cause problems, which I know isn't a problem for PC players. Often PC players will like download codes for like good looking faces. We're console people, we don't get that.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with the sliders. I've made like Dragon Age Inquisition characters that like, all right, you look good from this angle. Turn the head and their like cheekbone is in their eye socket. And I'm like, ah, shit.
You've suddenly become Two-Face from Batman for
pretty
no
much,
apparent reason. Jeez, it's fucked up. But yeah, it looks great. Definitely good graphics. Hey, you can command the dog, which I'm calling it right now. About 10 minutes into the game, somebody... That's probably going to be me. He's going to use that dog to steal some shit.
Yeah, it's like, I can command him. Hey, go steal that guy's pants.
Yeah, just yoink.
And they're gone. All right, so let's see here. Let's moving on to the next subject, Nintendo. Special shout out for Microsoft on... Damn it, I wasn't done yet. Now we have to move on.
First of all, just real quick on Microsoft, backwards compatibility.
That is a very good move. I am impressed. And even Sony was like, the people at Sony were like, wow, that must have been really hard because we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good move. Backwards compatibility has been like an issue for, like since all the next-gen systems.
Definitely.
And... It's understandable, especially the jump from, like, say, the 360 to... I'd say a better example is the PS3 from, like, PS2. It's a huge jump in hardware and graphics, and it must be really difficult to do. So to do that kind of backwards compatibility is actually really cool, and I applaud that.
Yeah, well, definitely good. So, let's
try that again. All right, there's the ding. So let's move on to Nintendo. We're going to spend far shorter on this because...
There wasn't that much.
There wasn't that much, not really.
Oh.
The biggest thing that we saw was Star Fox.
Oh, yeah, Star Fox.
And that drew a very mixed sort of emotions from the both of us.
Yeah.
Especially because, you know, we get the opening, it's like, ooh, high definition R-Wing, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And Fox is, I'm going down to Corneria. And you go down to Corneria, and it looks exactly like the level from Star Fox 64. So it's like...
Exactly, like... Just shot for shot. I mean, seriously.
And then, for some reason, the R-Wing turns into Kazooie from Banjo, like, when you can play as Kazooie in Banjo-Tooie. So,
yeah,
I don't know what that's about, but I was laughing the whole time just imagining the R-Wing going...
God. Yeah, R-Wing became a Dinobot. It was more than meets the eye. I don't know. Then we had the helicopter with the little robo thing. I don't know what that is.
But the Landmaster can fly now.
Oh, thank God.
So thank God for that. I would have loved to have that in the train mission in 64.
Although Nintendo, not gonna lie, if I see that fucking submarine anywhere in that game, I'm just gonna burn every copy of that game I can find. Fuck the Blue Marine.
Oh, that's keep shooting. We got lots of torpedoes. Not a fucking shield, Slippy.
Yep, not a goddamn shield or targeting controls for that matter.
Seriously, who makes a giant clam into a bioweapon? Seriously.
Andros makes that.
Andros.
He also made a fire mantis. He was a weird dude.
Yeah, he was a weird dude. Alright, so enough about Star Fox on there. Brief mention for the new Fire Emblem game. There's two that I know of. There's Fire Emblem, I think it's Fire Emblem If, which is a new 3DS entry. And then one for the Wii U is a cross between Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei, which I cannot wrap my head around for the life of me. It's like pop idols and like pop idol battles, and you summon personas, but they're actually Fire Emblem characters that look like personas, and I am so fucking confused.
Yeah,
looks good
no idea. Looks very nice, but no idea of what's going on there.
And important shout out for me, Nintendo announced that they are bringing Earthbound Beginnings, also known as the original Mother, in Japan. It was for the NES and is the prequel to Earthbound, which is one of like the most beloved JRPGs of the SNES ever.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal because I mean it's a classic that was never going to come stateside.
Yeah, that was one of the ones.
And it also means that Mother 3, the game that Lucas is in, and, you know, Lucas was in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and everyone's looking like, who the fuck is Lucas? Like, and then nobody knew. Nobody knew, and nobody in the West knew. Nobody who didn't get the emulation, the fan translation that people put out.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, okay, who's this kid? He looks like Ness, but with blonde hair, and also a chicken shit.
Yeah, and also
there's a very good reason for being a chicken shit, though. But yeah, so Earthbound Beginnings is coming out. I absolutely encourage people to really like try out that game. Like, if you're not, like, it's a classic. I can't even.
Yeah, but definitely a good thing, seeing as Japan was holding on to that like grim death for the longest time. But
yes,
hey,
for whatever reason, they would not bring Mother 3 to the States.
So points for globalization.
Yes, globalization for Earthbound Beginnings. So hopefully we'll see Mother 3 in the States, like an official release sometime in the next few years.
That would be nice. But anyway, we are pretty much out of time here, folks. So Hayden, final thoughts.
I am very interested in what we see for the next couple of year of gaming. I'm looking forward to like Dark Souls 3, the RPGs that are coming out. Hopefully I have enough money for all this. So I'm excited. And I mean, my reaction to Final Fantasy VII Remake was pretty indicative of that. I'm excited. I'm looking to see what's going to go on.
That's definitely good. As for me, definitely like where this type of thing is going. Like, of course, that Fallout's happening. Also like the fact new Mass Effect and just some of the shooters that we see look a little bit different than the typical AAA that we do see here. So it looks like we're starting to move away from a standard formula and back into some more original territory, which is always good.
Yes. And now for a shameless plug before we before we tune out here. Absolutely check out our previous two videos that we did. We're going to have a link for our pre-E3 video. Somewhere in this video at some point.
Yeah.
But we did a video on reboots and also one on Soul Calibur, so absolutely check those out. There's going to be more content from both of us in the future. And we have a Facebook page, so like us on that.
Definitely like us on Facebook.
Because we're gonna post stuff there every now and again because we can't post everything on YouTube.
True enough. Yeah, definitely leave some comments, like us on Facebook.
And subscribe.
Definitely subscribe, all you out there, those 8,000 people.
Yeah, the 8,000 people that saw my reaction video.
Yeah, some of you motherfuckers subscribe, that's good. The rest of you do it. And anyway, so that about wraps it up here. We're going to have some new episodes coming up. We're going to start branching out into some other topics because we've hit the video game button pretty hard these last couple.
Yeah, we're going to move on to movies and things like that.
Yep, so anyway, stay tuned for the next episode. Other than that, I'm Stephen James.
And I'm Hayden Neely.
And together we are the Cynic Insomniacs. Check you later, people.
See ya.